kind of give me an idea of the contrast from where you came from. You came from the city of St. Louis. Kind of contrast what kind of a culture shock you have, or a comparison between the two departments and how you had to run them.
Well, you know, and it wasn't so much a culture shock. I guess the hardest part that I had coming here was geography, is knowing, you know, from being so long down in the city of St. Louis and knowing all the streets and working throughout the city down there. When I'd hear a call come out, I'd know what area it was from, or specifically where it was. Coming out here, it was as it was coming to a brand new city and not knowing any of the any of the streets. So in some cases you'd hear a call, know the house and the people who are living there. Well, you know, in the old days certainly, and it's never a good sign when a police commander knows your house and where and the people that live there. But in saying that, what I started doing here and continue to do all the way till today is, if I don't have any meetings scheduled, like in the afternoon, I'll take some time out and just start driving different neighborhoods. And I did that down there when I was assigned to South St. Louis that I wasn't familiar with. So I taken that idea out here and would drive different neighborhoods just to get the feel of the neighborhood and try to get to know the streets.
Yeah. So you were used to the city of St. Louis. How long were you there?
Well, if you count all my time there, it was just short of 40 years with the St. Louis Metropolitan Police Department.
Okay, and did you start there?
Yes, that was my only job. I graduated from high school in June of 1969. Wow. And November of 1969, I started on the police department there. Okay.
The size of a police force that you have there is vastly different. I know the type of person you are, you seem to want to get to know everybody. Yeah. That you're in charge of. Little different scale.
Yeah, it is. But the O'Fallon Police Department has some very talented officers. Although there was a lot more officers in the city of St. Louis, the O'Fallon Police Department has the same type of officers that want to do a good job, officers that are really dedicated to serving the community. Although O'Fallon is a smaller police department, it's and now it's going to sound like I'm biased, of course, because I'm the chief out here. Right. But this police department is just as good as the St. Louis Metropolitan Police Department, and I'm not trying to patronize anyone. All I'm saying is the officers out here and the talent that we have, I would run it up against any police department in this area, including my old police department.
What attracted you to the field in the first place?
Well, yeah. I'm the third son of three brothers, and I'm the youngest. And both of my older brothers went into police work. We were all 5 years apart, so when I was like 10 and 11 years old, my oldest brother was on the Los Angeles Police Department. Okay. The middle brother started here in St. Louis, and then he eventually moved to Los Angeles and joined the police department out there. The middle brother was here as a police officer in St. Louis and then moved to Los Angeles. Okay. So I had two older brothers, especially in those formative years, that were police officers. And when you sit around listening to the stories and listening to what a police officer does, it just caught us. Now, my father was a bus driver, so it didn't start with my father or our father. It started with my older brother, and he got out of the service out west and ended up joining the LAPD. But when you're in those formative years, and it's just something that caught on that this is what I wanted to do. I wasn't interested at all in any federal law enforcement like the FBI or anything like that. I wanted to be a police officer working in the city police department, and that's what I worked for all through high school. You know how some young people will change what they want to do throughout life. Once I reached high school, I knew what I wanted to do, and I was able to follow that dream, and it's been a dream, and it's still a dream.
What do you think your leadership style is?
You know, it's a very good question, and when we talk about my experience and starting from the very lowest as a police cadet and going through every rank, you learn from different leaders, different managers that you've worked for throughout your career. Here's the basis of my leadership style. It's the F word, and that's fairness. When I came into the O'Fallon Police Department from where I was, I knew coming in here that these officers were going to judge me by not only my police experience, but also how I manage the entire police department. And one of the things that was important to me when I was going through the ranks was that the bosses that I worked for were fair. I might not always agree with them. And in fact, my career, many times I didn't agree with the boss. But if that person was fair and fair to everyone, it made a difference to me. Look, it's not important to me to reinforce to folks that I'm the chief of police. Heck, you can look at me and see that I'm the chief of police.
There's something about those birds on your shoulder.
I got the birds, I got the gold badge, you know, you can just glance at me and say, hey, that guy must be the chief of police.
Right.
So I don't need to reinforce that with my personnel. What I need to do is give them direction and give them some authority and ability to make some decisions for themselves. You know, with all my experience, I still feel that a police officer that's riding patrol, that's riding a sector, that's riding those neighborhoods, knows how to do the job better than I do. Because it's been a long time since I was in that car working that neighborhood.
So how do you think this has been going so far? I mean, this change from one area to the other?
Yeah, I don't get to see many of the folks that I worked with for all those years, but every once in a while I'll see somebody socially and they ask that question all the time. My answer to it is I've gotten used to the pace out here. And to also let them know that, you know, the city of O'Fallon has 80,000 people in it now.
It's still it's a legitimate city.
It certainly is, and with a legitimate city comes some problems in dealing with law enforcement. So although this is a fantastic community, we do not have a crime problem. We do have some spikes in some areas that we address regularly, that we have a system of crime analysis, that we look at patterns and things like that. But this isn't a small town community anymore.
It's still a professional police force, and a very talented one at that. You
know, and that's what, when we do see those anomalies come up, when there be a major incident that should occur, and although it doesn't occur that often, people should be very, very satisfied that they have a police department that not only knows how to handle it, they handle it the right way, and since I've been here, there's not been a major event or crime that hasn't been cleared by arrest. Now, we want to try to prevent crime before it occurs, but the people should be very, very content that they have a police department that knows how to handle it. When those anomalies occur, that you have a police department that's very responsive and they know what they're doing.